what prism do you look at blockchain at within the CFTC? What role is blockchain going to play?
Yeah, so I'm one of those who really believes that blockchain has tremendous potential in the market, and has tremendous potential for market regulators. And the reason I say that is because I was there in 2008 when financial market regulators had no better way of assessing the counterparty credit exposure of one large financial institution to another than by actually calling brokers that were broking credit default swaps to understand where the risk premium was. And they were, in a sense, guessing at what the global notional amount of exposure. So at the time of the crisis, it was believed that there was $400 billion in credit default swaps protection written against Lehman Brothers. Well, we now know that the total exposure was less than $8 billion. If we knew in 2008, and we would have known in 2008 if all those swaps had been on a blockchain, that the exposure of Lehman Brothers was $8 billion, then the response of global regulators and market overseers could have been a very different response than the response that came. Blockchain gives us the prospect that someday we may actually know with precision the exposure of one financial institution to another. We may be able to map the entire financial regulatory system. They call it financial cartography, and that's what blockchain gives us. So as from a regulator's point of view, this is a tool that has enormous potential and one that we want to be very much in the forefront of exploring and understanding.
That is so interesting. And as you mentioned credit default swaps, are you satisfied with the way the CDS market has evolved since the CFTC criticized manufactured credit events back in April 2018?
So we're following this very carefully. And what I can tell you is I think that the leaders of the industry are taking a very responsible approach to this. ISDA, the International Swaps and Derivatives Association, has been working with major participants in the market to develop some new language in their standard protocols to govern this area. They've been in dialogue with our agency, the CFTC, and will remain in dialogue with them as we go forward. So I think the initial steps on this are the right ones, but we stay very much engaged.